satisfaction of knowing that I've got a purpose, and that purpose being raising food for the whole world. And just kind of puts it in perspective when you see things that are talked about from, you know, the pork. It's just nice to be able to see it, you know, go big scale, and then you can bring it back home to, you know, the pigs you actually have in your barn, and know that that one pig, you know, is carried in different stages to feed the entire world in different parts of the pig. So it's just that satisfaction of knowing that you're raising high quality food for the world.
Yeah, not only North Carolina, but the world.
Absolutely.
So tell me about this operation right here behind us.
So on this farm here, we actually bought it from a family friend. His name was Franklin, or his daddy's name was Franklin, and so that's why we honored this, call it Franklin 4 houses. So my sister and I bought these houses together. These are finishing houses, and we've got another farm with 5 houses that do the same thing, and then I manage 3 other farms for my parents.
Cool. Tell me about your cows and your corn and your other operations too.
So not only do we have hogs, we also do row crop. So our family farm started sort of unofficially from my great-grandfather, who passed it down to his son, and he started a dairy. And so the dairy provided milk for the community here. And then when my grandfather took over, he got rid of the cows, didn't want to do no more of the milking, was tired of that, and started growing really big in tobacco. And he was able to build his first hog houses in the late 79, early 80, 81, and got started in the hogs. And then started slowly building onto the hog operation. And he built into about 8 houses is what he started with. And then my parents, my mom, because that was her bloodline, they took over the farm and they started to grow. And so they took the farm from you know, a small number of acres that was, my grandfather probably had somewhere probably around 1,000 acres. My parents doubled that in size. So we do corn, we do beans, and then my parents started to pick up hog farms. So we picked up more hog farms. My sister and I picked up farms. And then my brother-in-law really has this knack for cows. And so we've taken the land we have here that we have fertilized on, and we purchased cows. So he kind of mainly controls the cow herd. You know, we do the vaccinations, the things I help out, and then I'm in charge of all the irrigation that has to be done. So corn, beans, hay, cows, and hogs.
There you go.
Trying to diversify.
There you go. So mainly you and your sister and your brother-in-law kind of run everything?
No, so it's actually still my parents who do the farming, and myself. My sister and her husband, they do something different. But they're, like I said, they are still a part of the family, and they're still part of the business. Brother-in-law helps me when I need help. I help him with the cows. So we still keep it a family farm.
Yeah, for sure. Tell me about being raised in Pink Hill, and talk to me a little bit about the community here.
So I was born and raised here in Pink Hill, born all my life, and so I was born into a farm family. I watched my grandfather, you know, have tobacco and corn and soybeans and cotton, and I always knew that I wanted to do something on the farm. And as growing up, my grandfather was too afraid to have me around. You know, kid's going to get hurt. And so I didn't get to spend as much time looking back as I would have wanted to. But around 12 or 13 years old, they put me to work, and that's where I earned my first paycheck, which was fun because then I could buy my own school clothes, and nobody could tell you, you know, no, you can't wear that, or what, it can't buy that. So it was with your own money. And so I did that, working on the farm during the summer and in tobacco. And when my parents started to take over the farm, we just didn't know how things were going to work out. And they were like, well, you just need to do something else. You need to have some type of opportunity in your back pocket. And so I went to East Carolina University, and I got my teaching degree in high school biology and chemistry. And I did teaching for about 8 years. And my dad was like, if you want to come on home, now's the time to do so. So I came on home, and my wife and I built a house here, and we just started working the farm and raising our family and our 2 boys. And the community's small. Our little area that we live in is called Jonestown. Everybody's related some way, shape, or form. And the Pink Hill area in general is just a small rural community. Everybody knows everybody, good, bad, but if you need something, then your neighbors are there to help you. And that's what I just love about it. There's other farmers that we communicate. They'll ask for something, or I'll ask for something. We help each other out. And even though we're not blood family, we're family.
What's your wife's name, and how long have y'all been married?
My wife is Natalie. We got married in 2008, and she started out in nursing. So she started being a nurse at the local hospital, and she grew her education. She got her master's degree, and now she's got her doctorate degree, and she works for the University of Mount Olive, teaching future nurses how to be nurses.
Yeah. And what are your boys' names and their ages?
So I got 2 boys, Wesley, who is 9, and Worth, who is 5.
What do you enjoy doing when you're not farming and working?
Well, I feel like I work a lot. Other people might say, no, you don't work enough. But, well, first of all, farming is 24/7. So I always have to make sure that if I'm not here at the farm, one of my employees are at least here, make sure everything's okay and running smooth. But something that I find enjoyable is obviously just being with my family. We love to take vacations when we can, and when we have a free weekend or a free 2 days, we'll jump to the beach and just kind of hang out there and enjoy each other's time. That's what I find. That's what I find enjoyable. Is just getting that salt air every once in a while.
Amen.
Kind of recharge the battery.
Mm-hmm. You gotta step away every now and then. What do you want for the future, for the farm? Do you have any hopes and dreams for the future? Whether it be for yourself or your boys or just the farm in general?
I would hope in the future that the pork industry is still able to be as strong as it is now, if not stronger. That the world looks at us as growing healthy, safe meat that and actually is pretty cheap, that they can that they can rely on. And I would love to see my kids or my niece and nephew have that interest and want to do it as well. If they don't, that's okay, but I would love to keep our family farm and tradition, keep it going.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Talk to me about your involvement with the North Carolina Pork Council.
So I sit on the board, the North Carolina Pork Board, and I think I've done that now for two years. I really enjoy it, and a lot of people say, well, why do you do that? Why do you want to be there? Don't you have enough to do at home? And I do. There's a lot of work that needs to be here at home, and it does take me away from it. But I also feel it's very important to be a voice for our industry. And it's not necessarily pork. I mean, for the cattle industry and the row crop, it's very important that you have people who understand what the issues are, what the problems are, and maybe have some solutions that you can take to people who make these decisions. So my opportunity has been through the North Carolina Pork Council, having that opportunity to go to our state legislators, getting to know some of them that I don't already know that are local, and just telling them my story, telling them what my family does and what it means to us and how important it is, not just to my family, but into the world. Mm-hmm. And so that also gives us an opportunity to go to DC, where we talk to our national leaders and sit down and put a face, not just something on paper. They can see who I am, and they can see that when I say I'm struggling with this or this is a concern, they have more understanding. Maybe they take it, you can pull on their heartstrings a little bit, and it's not just another person complaining. And I enjoy helping to be part of solutions, or at least trying to give ideas. I do enjoy that. I don't want to be a politician. I don't want to make laws, but I am very supportive of our farmers, and I am very supportive of the pork industry. We get a bad name a lot of times, but we do a lot of great things for our community, for our environment. I think we are great stewards of the land. We know it, we understand it, And obviously we live here. You know, I wouldn't want to do anything where I live that would hurt my boys growing up and have some type of environmental negative impact. And so I just love to be involved. Like I said, being involved and to help, you know, come up with solutions or just to help be there to collaborate. I enjoy that.
Talk to me about your employees and kind of the working environment here and anything you love about your employees.
So like I said, I manage 5 individual hog farms. We're contracted through Smithfield, and we are all finishers. We do have an extra farm that is our gilt replacement division for Smithfield. But here on the farms that I manage, I oversee 4 employees, and those guys have a huge range of job descriptions, job roles that they have to do. I have one guy that I would call sort of my leader, and so he takes control. He's the one that I depend on if I'm not here, if I'm sick, or need to be away for a meeting, or when I go on vacation. And I try to repay that favor back. So they, you know, when we do well, they do well.
Right.
And so I try to pass that on to them. They are Hispanic, and so the communication sometimes is hard, but I know that when we are looking at each other and we're having a conversation, for the most part, they get the importance of what we're trying to do. It's not a job that they come to every day. It is a lifestyle, and they have to appreciate what we're trying to do here, which is, you know, health of the pig, safety of a pig, and, you know, just the well-being that we have to create every day. And so it is a job, but it is a lifestyle.